Now this morning coming down to the shop, I was really excited to see how this dried up. I have it right underneath the heating vent. And what happens typically when you put the first coat of primer on, there's always some little spots that you see, and I'm sure I'll find some when I look with a microscope. But boy, that looked like it dried up really, really well. I'm real happy now. What's happening? Every day now this project just gets more and more exciting, and I'm ready to start working on that fairing again. So my goal is to just be very carefully go over this by hand, or with a glove, feel for any little spots, because after, what I want to do is I want to get one more coat of primer on this, let it dry overnight, and then I want to fit up the new windshield, see if it fits. I can see a little spot up here now. Usually the primer will just, there'll be little flaws in the primer. I can dry sand it, I can wet sand it, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put some more primer on this. All right, so there's a couple little spots here where it's just not as nice as I would like it to be. So what I'm going to do, I got about an hour here to spend, because the plan was, at least tentatively, Bob Pelican is going to join me for a little ride this afternoon. And so I thought, well, this is great. I can get this part sanded out a little bit and touch up all the spots that need to be touched up. But what'll happen is you could skip this step, and since somewhere in the white it pops through. So if you do the time, if you put the time in early on this, it seems like the final coat always comes out better. And forth, back and forth, just to pick up any high spots. Because this next coat of primer is just going to be just a very light coat. I can see a spot up here where the old windshield bolt was. And it just goes without saying, the more time I can put in now, the overall project is just going to be nicer. And since I'm not rushing to get this done in the next week or two or some short amount of time, I would like to do it as good as I possibly can. Again, radiusing all the edges. Radiusing the edges is one of the most important parts of this. This edge down here is going to be a focal point. Usually I'll find, and usually I find it with my hand, inside the scoops is always an area that never seems to get done exactly the way I'm happy with. Sometimes I'm lucky I can get the paper to go in there. This last little bit by hand that I'm doing, I'm trying to get all these edges really, really nice. Right around the full perimeter. To get as much of the dust off of this as I can. Tack rag it down. Well, that's a lot nicer with the second coat, and I'm thinking we might even do a third coat on this. Wet sanded between coats. We're getting to the point now where there's very, very few imperfections in there, but I would like it to be, of course, as good as I can possibly make it, because once we get the base white on, I want that substrate under the base white to be absolutely beautiful. When the sun hits the front of that fairing, I'd like to see one big straight line of light. Until you've actually done a job with this much body work and this much sanding and this much prep, well, until you've really done that, you don't know what you're missing. But anyway, we have recovered from what I hope was a, well, my mistake anyway, and gone on to, I think this is going to be beautiful when it's done. And the biggest thing of all is I know there's going to be no fit issues when I do the final fit after the windshield holes are drilled. And this of course will dry overnight. This is another one of those very rare days. It is a little cloudy, and both Bob and I have checked the weather. It's supposed to be pretty nice though. It's supposed to be a pretty nice day. Looking forward to getting 100, 150 miles in. Boy, it promises to just be a beautiful day. The leaves are changing. We've hit a patch of nice weather here. Wow, you got it all shined up? Boy, wow. You know, there's a bike show today. There's only 3 bikes. We're gonna go get Luciano next. Maybe everybody, yeah, I should have brought my green Kawasaki today. We could have had a green Kawasaki day. Oh, that's what a guy needs, is more bikes. Oh my God.
Sorry, I didn't do anything.
So this bike is used to be Joe Roselli's bike, Luciano's bike. Did some track days with it, some street riding. This is going to Colorado to Luciano's son. What a day, even from Luciano's driveway. Wow. The leaves are changing. Just a beautiful day. There is one nicely restored monster, no doubt about it. You did a good job on that, baby. Even I'm impressed. All right, you're gonna lead the ride, right? Yeah.
You like the curves. I can see you like the curves.
Yeah, yeah.
This bike looks like it really handles good.
Oh yeah, this is perfect.
How many cc?
900.
900? Just like that.
Yeah.
Wow, and you got steering damper on there too? Wow. That you put on. What a difference in the bike.
It looked like a,
So you don't
like a lot of
change the
Yeah. I think so.
engine. It's amazing how the temperature changes. Because I got my vents on.
Oh, that's
You know, because I had something taken off. Dermatology.
So after the restoration, this one really played out well.
Myself right here. You see?
Beautiful bike.
I get out of the shop.
But it's actually
1401 would even be better. 1501.
it's 1301.
Oh my
A lot
God,
of
beauty.
power, but it's a lot of fun. And it would just come on. Just comes
Yes,
up.
sir.
It's just same torque.
Nice. Now you're cooking with Vaseline. Oh, stop being a baby. Hey!
No, nothing. Right in the
So what else is better than lunch at Goldberg's Bagels?
commercial van.
Anyway, we have just had the ride. Beautiful ride. Met up with some guys with KTMs, Triumphs. What a beautiful day.
I read it so many times.
A day to remember.
It helps if there's a
What a beautiful day in every way. Always enjoyable riding with Bob and Luciano. And hey, look, as we were out riding, our fairing's been baking in the sun. And anytime that paint dries an extra day, it'll sand that much easier. So, hope you enjoyed sharing our adventures, our FZR, all our bikes, all our rides, in fact, sharing our life. And thanks for watching.